Hello, friends, and welcome to another video lesson from DBOS Talks. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified of new uploads. This video is in the playlist called Linux Tutorial, and this time around I'll be learning about the grep command of Linux. Okay, grep lowercase. So the syntax of grep is something like this. So grep, the pattern, which isn't. Anyway, you'll see examples. So the pattern that you want Linux to use for the search, and then the file name of that file name, or also it could be using wildcard character. Anyway, you will see a couple of examples in this, and then it will give you more clarity. Okay, let's get on with this one. So the first example we're going to be looking at. So again, grep is used to do pattern search, meaning you will give certain criteria to Linux on what sort of things you're looking for, primarily from a file, but later on you can use it for some other things like the output of a command. But you can talk about that in maybe, let's see if we have time. Okay, so first is grep on a specific file. So I have a file here called practice.txt. So let's say grep these. So in this command, what I mean is that the grep is the command, of course. This is the pattern I'm looking for. I'm looking for, in this case, the word these. Remember, in Linux, things for the most part are case sensitive. So I'm telling Linux, look for the word these, no matter how many occurrences there may be in this file. Okay? So look for the word these, everything in lowercase, in this file. Okay? Okay, so you can see that it showed in red the occurrences or the hits for the pattern I'm searching for, which is in this case these. Okay, so in other Linux flavors, it may not be red, but it could be some other color. Okay, so anyway, you're seeing here, this is the effect of doing a grep. You're doing a pattern search. In this case, this is the pattern. All right, so the syntax in this case is the command, the pattern, and then the file name. All right. So that's the first scenario we looked at. Okay. So let's look at another one. In this second scenario, you're doing the grep command on files matching a wildcard character, which in Linux, as well as in DOS, is usually the asterisk. Okay. So let me just show you. Grep file. Okay, so again, the grep command is here, and the pattern I'm searching for is the word file, all in lowercase. And then I want Linux to look for that word from any text file or any file which ends in .txt. All right, and here, I'm using the grep on one particular file name. All right, here it could be multiple files that match this wildcard character over here. Okay. So here, the output is slightly different. If you look to your left, you can see in purple or violet the file name from which this text over here was found. Okay, again, it highlighted in red the hits. So it found the pattern file here, all in lowercase, here, sorry, here, and here in 4 different lines and across 2 different files. The first 3 lines were found in the file name called, in the file called practice.txt, while the other, or the fourth occurrence, was found in a file called secondfile.txt, all because in my command, I use the wildcard character, which is the asterisk. Okay, so I'm saying grep, or look for this pattern file from these files, from files ending in .txt. Okay, so that's the second scenario. Now let's look at the third scenario of the grep command. Grep while ignoring case. What I mean by case is uppercase, lowercase, proper case, which is also known called title case. All right. So by default, grep is case sensitive. All right. I mean, in terms of looking for the pattern, doing a search of the pattern is case sensitive. If you want Linux, especially the grep command, to ignore the case, whether it is upper, lower, mixed case, or that's called proper case, title case in some cases, then you will be using an option called, the option which is hyphen I. Okay, so as you know, in Linux, when we use an option, we will use a hyphen. So in this case, hyphen I. So master.txt. So I'm saying grep, and then the option is hyphen I, which is ignore case. Grep for this pattern, ignoring the case, it could be any kind of combination and permutation, uppercase of T, all uppercase, all lowercase, a mixed case of any kind of combination of upper and lower case from all the files ending in txt.txt. Again, grep, ignoring the case, look for this pattern in any case, uppercase, lowercase, or proper case from all the files that are ending in .txt. Okay, so we see also different kind of output compared to the previous scenario. So again, on the left side, you'll see in purple or violet the file names of those that have been found, and to the right are the hits. All right, so it's sorted by the file name. The first one, two, three, four lines were found in a file called practice.txt. And again, it highlighted in red those that it found matching the pattern, this, which is um, case insensitive because of the option hyphen I. So here you can see a couple of scenarios. I mean, a couple of cases. Because of the introduction of this option over here, you can see, interestingly, different cases. So here, all lowercase, this. Here, all uppercase, this. And then here you have a mixed case or proper case, title case, this, capital T. Okay, that's because of this option called ignore case, hyphen I. All right, so finally, we have a fourth example, which will be doing something else. So this is to show line numbers in the hits in the text that it finds. That will show line number corresponding to the file. Okay, so let's just say grep hyphen I and, sorry, this dot, sorry, txt. So I'm saying grep, this is not in, this is a combination of two options. Hyphen, instead of saying hyphen I hyphen n, which you can do, you can make it simple by just using one hyphen followed by whatever number of options you're going to use. So in this case, I'm using two options, the I, which is ignore case, you have seen in the previous example, and the N, which is to display the line number corresponding to the line it is displaying with the hit, with that line of text it has found, matching this pattern. Okay, so again, do a grep of this pattern, do a search of this pattern, ignoring any case, upper, lower, mixed case, and then showing the line number in all files matching this pattern. Okay, in all files that end with .txt. Okay, so again, on the left side, you will see the file names, practice.txt, 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 and finally, the fifth one is the second file, the text. But here, although, yes, I have used the I option for ignore case, so it's showing those different combinations of this, I mean, different possibilities, lowercase, mixed case, as well as the uppercase. But on top of that, because of the option N, it is also showing the line number. So meaning this line over here, this line of text, is in line 1 of this file name. And this text over here is in line 6 of this file, and so on. This text over here is in line 4 of this file. Okay. So Just before I end, let me just show you how you use the options in Linux. So actually, it doesn't look at the sequence. So you can say here I'm using grep hyphen in. I can also use grep hyphen ni, and it wouldn't matter because it will work in the same way. Okay, just to give you that comfort. Okay, so it works the same. So it could be like this. Okay, it could be together, or it could be like this. Okay. So that's it, folks. Thank you for watching and listening. If you haven't subscribed, please click subscribe and click the bell. And I'll be seeing you in the next video.